Hello, everyone. This is a surprise session to save a lot of students from trauma. Because a lot of people have been telling us, ma'am, please tell us how to remember, how to make notes. Please tell us how to study. So here we are. With me, there are three brilliant people. One is Princey Jha. You know her already, I'm sure.
Hello.
Princey has a brilliant academic career. She has cleared NET with JRF, she has cleared GATE, and she's also working at Valat. So that is one. She's from Bihar as well. And then we have Rajat Subra Roy. He's from West Bengal. He's a student currently at Valat, but he has already been with us 6 months. And why he is here is also because he is one of the editors of our Indian Encyclopedia. We'll be talking to you about it. Also here with us is Ashwati. Ashwati is also a student at Valat, and she helps us with a lot of projects, including language and also Indian Literature Encyclopedia. She has been doing content development as well as studies. You know, many people in Valat, many students in Valat, they work as they study here. It's brilliant. So welcome to this session, all three of you. YouTubers, we are going to talk about a very important issue that you all face as students. How to make notes effectively, how to remember information, how to get it in the exams correctly. I am an experienced teacher. Princey has just started teaching. Rajat and Ashwati are students as of now. So we have all kinds of people here to talk about it. Are you ready, guys? So in the 6-month batch that is going on right now, people are still joining. They tell us, ma'am, it is difficult to remember, but it's getting better and better. Did you go through the same problems, guys?
Yes.
Ashwati, talk about it. Have you overcome it?
Yeah, to a great extent. Like during my school days and all, it was very difficult because we have so much information, especially in subjects like history, and that is true in case of literature also. We have history of English literature. So remembering dates, remembering data, name, places, all these things is difficult. So bringing it in points, categorizing and subcategorizing, that helps. That helps a lot. That brings clarity in the mind also. Like we have a thought process going. So I think, yeah, that was a problem that we faced. But after coming here, after reading the encyclopedias, it has helped me a lot in bringing a sort of structure to the information that I am putting in. So, yeah.
Okay, Princey, you must have gone through the same thing, but you overcame it and you cleared a lot of exams. You should also throw some light on this.
My bad habit was when I was studying, I had a habit of collecting a lot of information and write it in big lines, like half page, 1 page full, like a story. So, but when I'm going back to it, it is not making any sense to me. I will not be able to recall anything. I will not be able to understand even. But then I got your encyclopedias. So then, when I started revising, that was much better than my notes because my notes were like a story which I read and I would forget because there are years, there are facts, there are works, and I'm just reading and forgetting that. But then when I first got British Literature Encyclopedia, I was like, okay, how well structured it is. There is first a brief outline of the period, then author also in chronological order, then their early works, later works. So actually, that told me, it taught me how to make notes. So now, yes, and obviously that was the period those were the books that helped me a lot, and now I am able to do better, make notes, and do everything because of the reference that I got from there.
Yeah. So, guys, what Princey is saying, I also agree. And I used to say this to all students always. We should make short notes and we should remember in the form of keywords, not elaborate, long sentences. And there should also be some logic to our notes. It should be categorized, it should be summarized properly. Important information should be collected from various sources. And that reminds me, Ashwati, one day we were talking about it. Remember, when we collect information, we should cross-connect the information. Remember, Ashwati, you are the one who I remember told me how useful it is. Yes, please unmute yourself. Ashwati, please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Cross-connecting information is such an important tool. It helps us understand, and it helps to helps us remember. Because when we cross-connect, it is interesting. It's like a web that is created, web of information. So, and that helps in exam also. Like I remember this example. There is a work, Death of a Bird. There are two writers who wrote something of the same name. That is Keki Daruwala and also A.D. Hope. So
They are
we
both
have
poems,
something
yes.
from Indian literature also and also from Australian literature. So when we learn one, we remember another. And when we remember the other author's name, we also connect their work. So it goes like this. It's like a web of information inside our brain. That helps a lot.
Right. What do you think, Rajat? You have not
Yeah.
spoken.
Yeah, ma'am. So as we are speaking about Indian literature has a like huge timeline. So if we go by historical periods, India has faced colonial struggle. There is different movements. So if we go by Quit India movement, people have written about those issues. People have written at that time, and plots are also connected to those times. So we can say that Bhavani Bhattacharya's So Many Hungers, R.K. Narayan's Waiting for Mahatma, all these works are about Quit India movement or got some or other elements from Quit India movement. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
you should connect and study like that. Princey, you were going to say something.
Quit India movement reminds me that Kamala Markandeya also wrote a work. It was some inner fury.
Many are there, many. Kushwant Singh, for example, I Shall Not Hear the Nightingale is a very important novel, I remember. There are many novels from Quit India movement period depicting the movement. And also Partition, another period like that. We have to connect all this and remember them together. That I understand it's a very, very important issue. Now, all the people who have assembled here, talking to you are people who have worked on the encyclopedia. Actually, I'm trying to show you the encyclopedia because it will really help you to look at what we have done there. I will show you and you will understand, guys, because this is a method. I'm showing you only because I'm so excited about it, and this is a method we have used here. These are the initial pages. Our names are all here. Yeah, dekho. So many people have worked on it. Rajat, Princey, you're all here. Ashwati also. Ashwati, dekho. Yeah. So coming to the contents, we have to have a very thorough historical approach. That is one important technique of memorizing. Because when you know the history, you study chronologically, then you will not have any confusion. For example, who are the writers of the 19th century? Who are the writers of the 20th century? Who are the writers who wrote in the independence period and wrote about Quit India movement or partition? Like that, every period you should study in a very thorough manner. And also these days, there are so many other aspects also we have included in the encyclopedia. We'll come to that later. Poetry and art, dekho, writers from the Northeast. I'm only showing you the first volume. The second volume is there apart from this. So everything is structured in an order. I'm showing this to you because you should also make notes like this. If you don't have the encyclopedia, that's okay. But you can make notes like this. I will come to the pages. Therefore, you have to look at Dalit and tribal literatures, folkloristics, Indian feminism, LGBTIQ people, Kashmiri people, Indian publishers. So many are there. And also Sanskrit traditions, even Persian, Urdu, Hindi traditions. They're all very important. Now, let us take a look at the encyclopedia itself. These are the detailed contents. I will show you the pages of the encyclopedia because that will really help you to understand. There's a huge introduction here, 30-page introduction, which will give a very good idea of the history. Big introduction we have put. Now coming to the encyclopedia pages, what we have done is we divide into short sections like this. In each section, you should have points and sub-points, illustrations, examples, year, everything you should write like that. When you write like that, it becomes a very invaluable resource that will help you to remember. Our students just read the encyclopedia many times and they remember even the pages of it. Did you understand? So if you make notes like this, you should also look at the pictures in the internet. That also really helps to remember. And all the years should be correctly given. Make big notes as well as small notes. I know that it takes time, but that is why we have resources like the encyclopedia, obviously. When you're using the encyclopedia, I feel like you don't have to make notes of this. If you want, you can read extra, that's all. So it's very useful to make notes like this. You should try to do the same. Every commission is given here. All the commissions, it becomes very easy to remember then. Then Renaissance, Indian Renaissance is going to be important in the syllabus. Indian literature is very important in the syllabus. So, Princey, do you have anything to add regarding notes taking?
Ma'am, like, I think you will be discussing about it. I just want to tell them that, well, first of all, we have to be organized when we are taking notes. Like,
Yes.
there are, like, sometimes we will be taking notes from lectures, sometimes we will be taking notes from books. So first, what you have to do is to organize what information you want to take from there. There will be a lot of information, but what is important for you, a student has to understand. So you can categorize it. Okay, I want authors, timeline, I want their main works, I want the main events that they were connected with. So this way we can categorize and take notes, and only small notes, not descriptive. Sometimes we feel, okay, we are losing everything. We start writing story, but only points, and also those points can be in code words. Instead of writing the whole word, we can write it or make some symbol there, just so that we can come to it later. But we have to know that, okay, what code word we have written for it. Like, we connect, we make stories. So instead of writing everything, just small notes or small words would be better sometimes.
Keywords, I call it.
Yeah, keywords. Yeah, because that saves time and they will be able to write more or take more notes in limited time also.
And is that all, Rajat? Just major points, the periods. What else is there in the encyclopedia?
So one of the main thing about how we read literature is analyzing things. As a literature student, as a normal person who is interested in culture or in reading, textual analysis is a very important thing. So encyclopedia has like a thorough inspection among all the major literary works and also minor literary works, which is very uncommon these days. People don't look up to inside the minor literature, but with time and time, the minor literature is also getting very much important. The boundary between the fine line between major and minor, canon and non-canon, is getting erased with time. So it's very much important to read text thoroughly. So in these books, like classic Indian classics like Midnight Children, God of Small Things, they have pages of textual analysis. And I think that's going to be very useful for BA students, MA students, and all the culture enthusiasts, those who want to read literature they want to look at literature from different perspective. Textual analysis is going to be very useful for them, ma'am.
Yeah. Can I add something to that? For example, we have right here Savitri. So when we study, when we make notes for the encyclopedia, what we did is we will first talk about when it was published, what is the subtitle, it is given here, right here, and then what is the theme. And then sometimes if it is a very big book, we'll go into the summary of each book or each section within the book. There will be an analysis also at the end. Sometimes we have added adaptations and whatever influenced these works. Some in the post-independence period, we have really expanded a lot of poems of Nizam Ezekiel and Shiv K. Kumar and A.K. Ramanujan. We have really gone into depth in all those cases, and a lot of novels and classics also. Even as you said, not only the most important classics, but even the minor works, isn't it, Ashwati? That's how we looked at it.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, these days, we know that it is not just what was considered canon earlier, what was considered so-called important, whatever was sidelined and marginalized as unimportant, as not mainstream, all those works and texts and writers are also gaining importance in all these exams. So whatever was sidelined as unimportant, that has become important, that has come to the forefront. For instance, another example that I remember is folklore. Folklore is something that was sidelined and marginalized, but nowadays there are questions asked from folklore as well in certain university exams. So it has become an important aspect of literature as such.
Yeah.
So things that were marginalized, which were sidelined, not considered canon, they are also gaining importance.
That
And
reminds me,
I think it's
Ashwati.
high time that we all start throwing light on all those words.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you. I was
Yes, ma'am.
just remembering, oh my God, we should have included ecological literature or green literature of India also. Oh, your encyclopedia is printing, but everything will not be perfect, right? Next edition we'll have green literature of India. Did you know in Bangalore there was a green literature festival? Guys, in the exams that are coming up, it'll be very, very important. Green literature also. What are the other topics that we have included, Rajat?
We have, ma'am, subaltern writers, Dalit writers, then different publishers. Publishing is very much important. Few days back, I was, and like all the students of TES also was part of an event where we heard from different publishers. So how the publication industry works, that also we have to know. For like there are question asked for like from perspective of different publishers. Then we have Sanskrit, Urdu, Tamil, then Pakistani to other
Yes,
writers
Bantu.
also. Yes, ma'am. Also in India, there is like Northeast literature, which is like for a long time sidelined, but now it's gaining importance with time.
Yes.
So it's a really good one, ma'am.
Rajat, tell us the truth. You spend a lot of time editing these pages. Did you learn a lot from it? How was the experience? Was it difficult? Was it exciting?
I was lucky to be part of this thing, ma'am. Like before this one, I had no idea that there are so many things which can be included in a book, or the idea of Indian literature. It's a Indian, not just Indian literature, Indian English literature, if you think it like that way, or the things written in English. It's not just that. It's beyond that. The small definition or ideas we have gathered throughout time. So it was a really wonderful experience, and yes, ma'am. It was really good, really good.
I think when you talk about experience, Princey is the one who had all the experience because she came from Bihar. It was almost 1 year now, and so many things happened while you were here, including American and Indian 4 encyclopedias. My God, Princey, talk about it.
So when ma'am asked me to come, I was a girl who had just completed her post graduation, and I qualified that. That's fine. But she wanted me to work on books, and that too. When I came, it was like, okay, work on Indian encyclopedia is going on. You also have to work on that. Now I was like, I don't know. Encyclopedia is something which is very above me, and how do I do it? Okay, so we had ma'am's notes for references. Then there was Adira, who was already working on it before me. Madhavi also was there, who was working on me. So I got help from them. They will tell me, okay, these are the authors. You can pick from them. You can read from the internet. These are the books you can refer to. We had all those library. We used to go to your library and almost,
Books, so many hundreds of books we referred.
And from your library, we were shifting all the books to our room, which our room was also stacked with all the books. I remember, and yeah, it was like this 1 year I had a lot huge experience, and especially with this Indian literature encyclopedia, I remember how we used to sit together and work, and how we pestered Sudeep sir and Preeta ma'am and everybody give us material. This is pending, that is pending. We need to include this. We need to include that. So this has been a huge experience, and now it also feels like fun. It doesn't feel like, okay, this is very huge, I cannot do it. It's like, okay, let me do. I can do another book. So now I'm actually looking forward to whatever book you're going to sign me next, because and I'm sure Aswati and Rajat also will agree with me that
Yeah.
they're also up for
Exactly.
next.
Ashwati, tell us what happened in the classroom. One day I suddenly said, you never thought you're going to be part of the encyclopedia. Talk to us about it a little bit.
Yeah, it was all of a sudden, like we were just, ma'am just gave us this idea, and we were divided into different groups. One group will collect material, one group will first go through the resources and check what are the authors who are missing. And another team will, they will bring out or take up all major syllabi of India, all major universities, syllabi, authors, writers, and they will bring it all together. Then we will kind of organize it and try to collect information on all these writers. And it was such an interesting process. And yeah, I mean, I have learned a lot, but this is just a beginning, I guess. I would like to do more and more.
Yeah, there are
I
so
would like
many
to-
people from the class that helped us. We can't forget Dhanya, Surya,
Yeah,
Moksha, so
Surya.
many people. Yes, Princey?
I wanted to add more things. We already had this classroom group which was divided in team. Apart from that, we had a huge team. Like there was Rushati ma'am, there was Aswati ma'am, and then
They themselves had a small team.
yeah, they already have team of 4-5 people each in their group. And then there was Saraswati, who was from Andhra, and C also like those Sanskrit poetics part. C was a major role apart from Achan. Like with Achan, C and Achan prepared this.
Achan is my father. He's a professor
Yeah.
of Sanskrit. He has 35, 40 years of experience. And I did not let him rest. He was on his toes preparing 4-5 chapters for us.
Yeah, so all that one unit, which is having 5 to 6 chapters, were prepared completely by Achan and Saraswati, and then Gauri was there, who prepared a lot of material. Like in between, when we were not working on it, Gauri and Saraswati were doing something regarding that.
Yes.
And then there was Preeta ma'am, who gave us a chapter for
Partition and
partition and
movement.
bhakti
Yes.
movements, and then Sudeep sir, who gave us for Parsi literature. So like we tried not to leave any area, like any topic
It's a
untouched for this.
huge work, isn't it? I'm so excited.
Yes. Like we cannot find one single book or 2 books, even just 2 books for all these topics that we have included
Yeah,
here.
there is
So,
no other book in India, I'm sure of
Yeah.
this. And Ashwati and Rajat, you are people who are working with these books and you are studying these books. Tell us more. How do you use this book? How to use this for an exam? These encyclopedias, I mean, not only Indian, American, British.
So these books are already like a gist of information. So we should go through this like every page thoroughly. We should read, and revision is very much important for these books, or like all the other British encyclopedias also. Like we have studied British encyclopedia, then American English encyclopedia. So for
There are
those
7, 3 British, 2 American, and 2 Indian now. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So revision is very much important for these books, and we have to go through again and again. And another beautiful thing about these books that they have YouTube links, which is like I have never seen in a book, in a like this kind of this encyclopedia kind of thing, where we got links which you can follow up to read about other things, and there are also images. People have very like less idea about how the author looks or the image they created in mind, that's very different from the reality. So
Yeah.
it's those images are also very much helpful for students to remember things, ma'am.
We are trying to take images that are not copyrighted from the Creative Commons that are copyright free. Ashwati, would you like to add something? How do you use the encyclopedia? Of course, you should use quizzes and other things also to revise. Please talk to us about that also.
Yeah, ma'am, like for me, I have been using your encyclopedia for a very long time, even before I came to Trivandrum for your course. Since my PG days, I have been using your encyclopedias, British encyclopedias. And what I do is whenever I am trying to study a topic, I would just read that. Maybe I'll read it once. Today I'll read one chapter, or maybe 2 pages. Tomorrow I will start from the beginning. I'll read those 2 pages and then continue. So I'll keep repeating it again and again so that it gets stored in my mind. And also, what I really find interesting, as Rajat has already pointed out, the first time when I got your British encyclopedia, I saw those YouTube links. You can refer to this, you can listen to Old English. So I'm just recalling it from British Literature Encyclopedia. So those links, those pictures, and how it is formatted, just dot points. It's very easy to, I mean, it just gets, you can feed it into
Stored.
your mind very quickly. So I
Yeah.
think repetition is very important. Repetition is very important when we are using these encyclopedias. And also, once we read those bullet points, if whatever writers or authors we think that our work is more important, we can read more, and on that basis we can read extra also. So I
Yeah.
think this encyclopedia gives us an idea, like there is a structure, and that is very important when we are studying.
It structures your memory. And you know,
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
when you look at people like Princey who have cleared NET with JRF and who have cleared GATE using the encyclopedias, you will see their book
Yeah.
full of colors, so many notes made in the margins with their extra reading. That engagement
Yeah.
that you do with the material in the encyclopedia is what is most important. And in our classes, we also give a lot
Yeah.
of quizzes. I don't think any coaching center will give so many quizzes. Polls in the Telegram group. And you know,
Yeah.
Princey, we started so long ago. This Princey is the one who is doing the 9:30 poll. And there is another person who is making the questions, that is Shubhendu. Shubhendu. They are working so hard consistently every day. Thousands, maybe millions of questions we have given already. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
It's
these
so
quizzes
many.
are very important. Yes, Princey?
No, I was saying when we started, I used to attempt it as a student, and now I am conducting for my juniors. So it's, it gives me happiness also that I am also able to help people. Like I was getting benefit from it, others are getting benefit, and I am also a part of that journey.
Yes.
So
Guys, we are talking about the 9:30 poll in our Telegram group. It is amazing. Valat.in public group, it is called. And if you check the description of this video, you will get it. And also, there are other quizzes that we give in our classes. There is a quiz program actually starting tomorrow. I just remembered. It is very structured, topic-wise, and all our online and offline paid students are all getting it free. It is really helpful to practice like that. You should all do it. Get consistent practice, everyday practice for paper 1 and 2. That is one important way to keep things in your mind without forgetting. And also, like Ashwati said, you keep coming back to the page so that the page becomes, a part of your memory. You see it, isn't it, Rajat? The visual memory is very, very important.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And also, we have mock tests also. I'm not saying that you should join the course or anything. You can join because it's starting tomorrow. All the links I'll give in the group, in the description of the video, of this video. You can check it out if you're interested. So what we do at Valat is study thoroughly. That is the advice that I would also give you. Do not resort to shortcuts, because then for the rest of your life, you will have to keep on studying and you will never know anything properly. Do not resort to shortcuts. If you do, it is like building a house without proper cement and proper reinforcement. What will happen? The house will fall. Like house for Mr. Biswas. Mr. Biswas did the same mistake. Do not do that. Build your house on rock so that it will stay forever. And the material and the guidance that we give you, it will be difficult in the beginning to assimilate it, to remember it, but it is solid. It is like cement setting. It takes a little time. But once it is there, you can build whatever mansion you want on it. That rock hard base you should have like that. You can also just follow our YouTube videos. We will inspire you. We give you material. That is also enough. I'm not saying you should join our course or anything. I'm only saying that when you study thoroughly in this manner. So don't panic. Be positive. Be happy that you're learning so much. You know, I panicked so much during my 25 years making these encyclopedias. Will I ever complete it? There were so many mistakes. There were so many gaps, so many things I did not know. And I just creatively got the solution. The solution is that I don't keep doing it myself. I get all brilliant people around me to work on it, put their names in it, give them credit and money, and the whole project will be done. And it is something that nobody in India or even the world may have done, to bring together so many hundreds of people to make, it's like crowdfunding of a film. There are scholars who make encyclopedias like that, professors and scholars. But ordinary people like you and me, who did not know anything at the beginning, I was also like that. This is an amazing thing that we have all done together. I will never undervalue it. It is the best thing that I've done in my life, with all your help. Without you, I wouldn't have done it also. Not only the four of you, not only the students and people employed right now, but all these 25 years, there were people helping me with it. Raven Sidh Haloli, for example, from the time he joined as a student, which was many, many years ago, there is no end to the amount of information that he brought to me. Always, everything was not perfect. There were mistakes, there were gaps, but it was easier once they brought me all this to make it perfect. It was easy. It is the work of hundreds of people that has gone into this encyclopedia. And they have all been given credits, and they have all been rewarded in different ways. I thank God and each and every one of you for this. It is a huge work. And also, guys, it is a method. Encyclopedia is not only a book that you should pay money and buy. You don't have to buy it. It's okay if you don't buy it, because it's a method. That method is what I'm giving you, what we are giving you. And we are proud of it. That method of, like a honeybee makes a hive, we got it from nature perhaps, like ants make their house. Little by little by little, from nothing, we made it. Oh, I'm so happy. It's a very emotional moment for me. It's in print, the second volume. The first volume has come. I'm sure you have seen it already. And everybody is pre-booking it. This is the first volume. Everybody is pre-booking it. This I showed you as the file, the proof is what I showed you. Thank you, Ashwati, Rajat, and Princey, for joining us and giving this awesome discussion, doing this. I'm sure this discussion that we did tonight is going to help thousands and maybe millions of students in the coming years. We have done a great job. I hope you loved it, you two babies. Shall we end the session?
Good night, guys.
Good night, everyone. Bye
Good
from
night.
all of us. Bye.